Tell me now. We got-
good evening, pro wrestling fans of this social media. You are now tuned in, as always, to the most swagged out, to the most entertaining podcast on the internet. If you didn't know, you better ask somebody. But if you don't, you're about to see in just a few short minutes as you have now entered into ring psychology. Once again, this is episode 10, y'all. We done reached the summit. 10 episodes in. You know what I'm talking about? And you already know, man. It's the usual suspects. You know, I'm gonna step up and state my name. You know, I am the flavor of life, the voice with the choice, all of that good stuff. They call me Two Live Brew, man, because I'm one of the livest brothers living. If you don't know, now you know. But I cannot do this journey alone because I got two of the best partners in the world to do this with. The first one is over here to my left. You already know he got all the swag. You know what I'm saying? He is the tribal chief of music production. If you don't know, check his track record, or I'll just tell you myself. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, you know, everything he says and touches turns to gold. If you don't know, peep the beard. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, there is only one. Thank God there is. His name is Dre Cole, man, aka
What
Dre
up,
Gold.
though?
And of course, we always have our esteemed partner rounding out, you know, this triple threat, you know, the man that tells it like it is, but the same man that'll, you know, make you want to go to his house and, you know, beat him up because, you know, it's either his way or the highway. And that's okay because we love him for it. I don't know what his name is this week. He goes by many different names, but we know him as Mr. Worldwide, Jay Anderson. But tonight he is the Weasel. I guess.
Paying homage to my man Bobby Heenan.
That's right, the great Bobby Heenan. That's right. That's right. All right, gentlemen. Well, here we are. It's a week 2 of the hot summer of professional wrestling. And I mean, a little bit of everything is going on. I mean, we got the Bloodline Civil War getting out of control. You know, the Judgment Day seems to, you know, patch things up. And, you know, as of Tuesday night, boy, they really got something to celebrate, man, because the
Dirty
unthinkable
Dom
happened.
is a champ.
I'm telling you. I'm telling
Dirty
you.
Dom is a champ. That's
I,
interesting.
who thought we would say that after 3 years? Dominic Mysterio is a world champion. Wow. But you know what? I have to say, for the first time in a long time, this makes sense. This definitely makes sense because he is finally where he belongs and where he should have been all of this time in NXT. So you know what? I'm actually behind this. So you know what I'm gonna say? Congratulations, Dominic. I hope you can further elevate this championship.
They're not
And
gonna keep him there though, man.
no, of course they're not. No, of course
No, I
not.
mean, like, while he has a championship, he's gonna still be called up.
Oh, of
He has
course.
to. He's a major part of that situation. What
Yeah,
bothers me about that is if that was the case, they could have left the belt on Solo when he won it.
that's true. But it will be interesting to see just from a character perspective how he further elevates that championship. Because no disrespect to Wes Lee, like when it comes to performance inside of the ring, the man is phenomenal. But the guy has the personality of a person working the drive-through at Wendy's. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I mean, you know, so that's why I said this makes so much sense on so many different levels. And you know, I kind of could have warned you, Dre, that this was coming because the moment he made the challenge to Wesley, I said, "Oh, Dominic's winning that belt." If this is a part of the whole Judgment Day NXT crusade, oh, he's got to win that belt. He's got to win that belt. He's got to. And
they're
you know what?
they're they're trying to run this bloodline storyline. They made a amazing. They were very successful in this storyline, and it's still happening. So now I kind of get it a little bit. They're trying to see what they can do with the Judgment Day. I just don't want everything to just run off of factions because I also hear the rumor mills of a new faction starting between Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits.
Yeah.
Which I'm actually all down for. I felt like they should have did that a while ago though.
Long time ago.
So who knows?
Right. So Weasel, what are your thoughts? I know you've been over there listening for a few minutes. What would you assess the crowning of the young Mysterio here as the NXT North American champion?
So that's one of the few things I did catch. I like it. I like it. I think that with him and Rhea both having belts, it's actually a really nice touch because her belt is slightly more prestigious than his, but he has a belt. So it's classic heel stuff. Like I love it now.
Okay. So this question, I'm actually going to direct this question at both of y'all. Dre, I'm going to start with you first. So now with Dominic having gold inside the Judgment Day, how much does this affect or go against, or not necessarily go against, but how much effect is this going to have on the portion of Damian Priest and Finn Balor's story playing out when Damian Priest eventually cashes in?
It ain't gonna affect at all. The reason why I say that is because they're still on the role of kicking Finn out.
Okay.
I feel like that this is where we're going. This is why there is a slight feud. I don't care what nobody says. It's a slight feud between Finn and Damian. Because at the end of the day, if Finn beats Seth, which Finn has to beat Seth.
Yeah.
He has to beat, or someone has to beat Seth, because Seth, if y'all know what's going on with him, he's in the new Captain America movie. They got to do the promos for it.
Of course.
So he's going to be gone.
Right.
So, I believe that this is it's still going to be a thing between Finn and Damian. Because there has to be a cash in still. Finn, if Damian cashes in on Seth, Finn is jealous. If Finn beats Seth, then Damian has to cash in on Finn. No one's gonna go against Roman, because that storyline is for Cody.
Yeah. That's that Roman. We can all agree, I'm sure, that Roman is too hot right now to be touched in the company.
And Damian's not his star power ain't big enough.
Not yet. Jay, what about you?
I think that what Dre just said, I think I called that situation back in what was the pay-per-view where Cody was that Money in the Bank where Damian won? Yeah, so that needs to be how they get out of it. Finn, I think Finn should win it in like a gruesome battle or whatever, and then have Damian immediately come out and cash in, and then have the Judgment Day turn their back on Finn, and then that'll put them and Finn into their own program.
Okay. So let me say this to both of y'all. So since pretty much it's the feeling that I'm getting for both of y'all is that one or two things is going to happen. Either Damian is going to cash in on Seth, or he's going to cash in on Finn. So let's just go with the hypothetical. Say he cashes in on Finn. Like, don't y'all think at the same time, as smart as the wrestling fans, or let's just say the WWE fans are, don't y'all think that might be a little too predictable, and they might be seeing that 30,000 feet away and be like, all right, well, if Finn wins, then okay, yeah, we know Damian's coming for him. Because that's already been teased. That's already been put out in the atmosphere.
But it's also been put in the atmosphere that the pact between Finn and Damian will not cash in on Finn. That's
Right.
what Finn is thinking.
Okay.
So
Right,
that's your angle.
and you can
Your
milk
angle
that for
is
as
you
long
don't
as
see
you
that.
need to.
Yeah,
Right.
you can run that by itself.
Okay. Okay.
Oh yeah, if Finn wins, they already said that he's not gonna do it. That's how you flip it. Oh no, I'm gonna
Right.
do it.
Right.
I'm gonna do it.
So how do you?
Especially because the rumor is also Roman is not scheduled to even lose the title until WrestleMania.
That's what I heard too. I've been reading a lot of. It's very ironic you brought that up because I've been seeing a whole bunch of articles of that on my news feed, like
Yeah,
for
I've
the
been seeing
past
that
week.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so since we're painting this picture, let's put another fresh coat of paint on this and say like, okay, so the situation is Damian Priest does cash in on Finn Balor. How would you all? I'm just asking you if y'all were in the production meeting, let's just say with H, not Vince, but H, and he gave y'all the pin. How would y'all book the cash in of Damian and Finn? Because if this is going to happen, you know it's got to be dramatic. You know it's got to be some suspense. You know it's got to
It's only
be
one way to do that dramatically. The only way you can do that dramatically is Finn has to beat Seth, and then Damian cashes in on him. It's the only way.
So it's like no, attack or Damian comes after him when he's weak when he weakens Finn and tries to gain some type of advantage. So it's a clean cash in, clean win.
I don't see that. I don't think that would be fair. I don't think that would to make it a big storyline because then your storyline has to be once Damian cashes in, your storyline has to turn to Finn now having to fight Damian.
Right.
And they're buddies.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you shake that angle and make it strong enough to where now it's like gonna be gruesome? It's gonna be
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we want to see them fight. We want to see them go for it.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I was like, there's gonna be nothing, maybe, at okay, so let's put it like this. So going to Jay's point, what he was saying about Finn beats Seth after a hard fought match, he beats him clean. All right, cool. So say after that, okay, Damian's music hits, Finn sees him, he's smiling. They're smiling, they're clapping, all of this stuff. So let's say Seth, for some reason, out of nowhere, pulls a Finn Balor, and let's say he attacks him. Let's say Seth comes in and cleans house, and he's just beating Finn from pillar to post. He takes him outside, he's banging him on the announce table. He's giving him 2 or 3 shots with a chair. And then let's say the final blow is, he gives him the stomp, on the outside, and he rolls his lifeless carcass back in the ring. And then you got Rhea and Dominic looking concerned, but all of a sudden the expression changes on Damian's face because he realizes, wait, Finn is wounded and he's the champion. And he looks at the briefcase and he looks at Finn and he looks at Rhea and Dominic. And then the crowd is going nuts and they're screaming, let's just say they're like, cash it in, cash it in, cash it in. And then Damian hesitates for a second, but then all of a sudden, he just has this moment where he just pushes, let's say he pushes Dominic out of the ring. He pushes Rhea out the way. And then he just urgently hands the briefcase over to the referee, picks Finn up, gives him the broken arrow or the South of Heaven. 1, 2, 3. Crowd erupts. Damian's your new champion. All because of Seth.
Regardless of how it could happen or whatever the case may be, it still has to be your biggest way of doing that is Damian cashing in on Finn. That's the only way that storyline is going to take it.
Yeah.
They're trying to plateau to where the bloodline storyline is.
Right.
Because Monday don't have a storyline right now.
No,
Right
no.
now, your Judgment Day is your storyline.
Yeah.
So that's your biggest way of doing that. It has to be Damian Cash in on Finn. It cannot be Damian Cash in on
On Seth.
Seth. It's gonna be too much more work.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, you know, we'll just have to wait and see when SummerSlam comes around, and we'll just see what type of tricks that H has up his sleeve. I mean, I think all three of us can agree that we trust Triple H's creative.
He's doing an amazing job right now, bro.
Yeah. So I mean, we can all trust, you know, his creative, you know, presence of mind that he's going to do something that is going to make our jaws drop, you know, with this cash in. And shout out to you, Dre, because you were the one that kind of planted the seed out there and told me, you know, off the record, and was like, hey, yeah, I got some news. It's like, yeah, Damien's cashing in at SummerSlam, and when he cashes in, we're probably gonna have a new champion. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess if he's gonna do it, you know, he's gonna do it. You know, like you said, it's probably gonna be against Finn. You know, if you're trying to leave the fans from Detroit going home with something to talk about, then yeah, it would have to be against Balor. Because I mean, yeah, it's a lot. Because at the same time, if he cashed in on Finn and on Seth, then that actually would be the predictable route. That would actually be like, well, okay, we knew that, but he actually does this on Finn. They'd be like, oh shoot, he actually did it. He lied, but he actually did it.
I mean,
You
that's
know what
what
I'm
it's gonna
saying?
be, bro. It's got to be Finn. It's got to be Finn.
All right. Well, like I said, we'll just have to wait and see how it all goes down at SummerSlam. But switching gears, speaking of live events and being there to experience certain things, there was a certain individual who's a part of this podcast. I'm not gonna say no name, Draco, that went out to Monday Night Raw this past Monday.
Yeah, man.
He was in the building. Even
Monday
got some footage.
Was great.
Tell us about that, big guy.
I mean, it was dope. You know, I don't know if you've ever experienced a live event before. It's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
This was actually my fourth live event. I was fortunate enough to go to Armageddon years ago. This is back when JBL was the champion, and
Oh, wow.
Eddie Guerrero was actually still alive.
Oh, wow.
And so it was like, I'll never forget, because it was a match for the title. Eddie Guerrero, JBL, Undertaker, and Big Show fought for the championship.
Wow.
So this was like pretty dope. And then I was able to go to WrestleMania when they were here, when The Rock hosted.
Mm-hmm.
I went to that. I went to SmackDown a few years ago. This was before the Tribal Chief was the Tribal Chief. He was just the big dog.
Okay.
I went to SmackDown, and then just past Monday, I was at Raw.
Wow.
And it was dope. It was fun. Ran into some people who actually watched the show.
Wow. That is
and
amazing.
So I got some pictures with them, and yeah,
Have
man.
you seen those, Jay? Have you seen those?
Oh yeah, man.
Have you seen those photos?
Most def.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
man.
So it was really dope. I encourage, if you have never been to a WWE live event, man, you have to check it out. It's so
Absolutely.
much. It's so much fun. I mean, TV only gets you for so much, but it's a lot of fun. And I had a ball, and I'm gonna make it my duty that, because WWE don't come to Atlanta often.
It don't.
They don't come to Atlanta often, and I think it's been 20 something, like maybe 20 years since Raw was in Atlanta.
Oh yeah.
SmackDown comes a lot more.
Absolutely.
But Raw hasn't been in Atlanta, and I think I saw Cody Rhodes put up a post saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Because he's from Atlanta.
Yeah.
Right. So Raw hasn't been to Atlanta in about 20 years, apparent according to him.
Right.
I was like, that's just crazy. They have to show ATL some love, man. Like
Yeah,
for real.
because
We don't get-
because I was gonna say to your point, Dre, Atlanta has been like a melting pot for pro wrestling for
Yeah.
years. Like even going back to I don't know how far you'll remember this, but even going back to like the WCW days in the 90s, you know what I'm saying? I remember going to center stage, when I was like 4 or 5 years old, when the tickets used to be for free, and going there with my parents. And I remember going to WCW Saturday night, and you know what I'm saying, seeing people like Ravishing Rick Rude and Sting and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Yeah.
I even had one moment where when it was one event, it was a long line outside, and I remember my dad, he had me up on his shoulders, and out of nowhere, we saw Mick Foley, aka Cactus Jack, walking outside, and he was just high-fiving fans. And I remember I stuck my hand out and he high-fived me or what have you. So, yeah, man. So Atlanta is definitely a big part of professional wrestling. And it's funny you mentioned Monday Night Raw. I actually went to the Monday Night Raw where Charlotte, Becky, and Sasha Banks made their debut. So
wow.
that was pretty big. That was pretty big for me. And I think if we're talking about the same SmackDown that you are talking about that you went to, I believe I was there as well with my mother and my 2 nephews as well.
Yeah,
So,
this was maybe 2018, 2019. It was a
Yep.
birthday gift for
Oh,
me.
wow.
And so I remember because this was back when the blood with the what's the 2 guys' name?
Not the Usos.
No. One of the Usos, it was I can't think of the name. It was with the Wyatt family.
You're talking about the Bludgeon Brothers?
Bludgeon, yeah, the Bludgeon Brothers. They were actually feuding with Roman.
Oh,
So
yeah,
that was the one I went to.
Okay. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I remember because Kofi was the champ.
Okay.
And Brock Lesnar came and challenged him for the. This is
For the
right. It was like Friday before SmackDown went to Fox.
Oh, okay.
Friday before.
Wow. That's awesome. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
man.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
definitely.
WWE. Yeah. Y'all come on down. Y'all come on down to Atlanta, man. Like, yeah, we need more of that. We need more of that. Like, we trust me, y'all got a fan base down here too. It's just not, Chicago and Brooklyn and all these other places that y'all like to go to constantly. Like ATL loves their pro wrestling, trust me, and they will come, as you saw. Like, hopefully the next time they come, hopefully, I'll be able to, tag along with you, and hopefully, Jaquil can probably join us, and Ring Psychology, will be at full force, at a Raw event, so we can run into more fans and have more people notice us.
And also, side note, and we're gonna get back to the wrestling talk, but it was also your birthday.
Yes, it was.
It was your birthday.
Oh man,
so
really?
Yeah.
Happy belated.
35, right? 34.
Yeah. 35, man.
I'll be belated, my brother.
Yeah, man.
Sir,
Thank
happy
you.
belated birthday.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I think I think I'm about to catch up with old Dre over here, man. No. I guess not. I guess again, Dre is the OG. I'm an OG in training. Like Dre been doing this. He been here for a little while.
Man, I'll be 37 this year, man. My
Oh,
knees
yeah,
hurt, my back hurt.
Yeah, I ain't catching up to him. Never mind.
Yeah, my bladder's weak.
I ain't catching up to him, man. I ain't catching up to him. But yeah, man. Yeah, it's a blessing. 35. God is great. Yeah, man. I'm just, I'm just happy. I'm just happy to see 35, man. That's really all it is, man. And you know what I'm saying? To be doing stuff like this, with y'all, man, I feel like I'm in my prime, man, for real. You know,
Oh,
I
man.
felt like my 20s was just the start of my evolution. I really think like my evolution is actually running its course right now. So yeah, man, we 35 and live, baby. So, you know, I'm ready, you know, for whatever this chapter brings. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what that is right there. But getting back into the subject at hand, we talked about the Judgment Day, but Dre, I know and I just feel that you are ready to sink your teeth. You've been chomping at the bit over there.
Matter of
And
fact, hold on, hold that thought.
Uh-oh. Here we go. Here we go, Jay. Here we go.
Oh man.
He done jumped in the booth. Yeah. Here comes Superman. Clark Kent has left the building. Here comes Superman. Oh no. If he come, Jay, I promise you, if he comes out with a Roman Reigns t-shirt,
Hold on. I got him. Hold on. Hopefully I can do it fast enough.
Oh no. This dude about to go play the theme music. This dude about to play. This is what happens on Ring Psychology, ladies and gentlemen. You can tell, like, yeah, we do this. We do this. I told you, we're here to entertain. This is what we do. I told you, it's the most swagged out, entertaining podcast on social media. If you don't believe me, this is why. Like, Dre is about to go like full tribal chief right now.
No.
Man, come on.
Oh man.
Go ahead and put this on right fast.
What? He done went. Oh man, he done went and got Uzi.
All I'm saying is the real tribal chief, Jey Uso.
He done went and got Uzi. Do you see
man.
this, Jay? He went and got Uzi.
I missed it.
I mean, he literally, wow, man. Wow. Okay. So with that being said, Dre, let's get into it.
Hey man. This is I'm gonna say this every week until it's over.
Okay.
This is the greatest storyline in a very long time. We ain't had storytelling like this since the Attitude Era, and this is great.
Yeah, it
I
is.
love where this is going. Kudos to the writers. Kudos to H.
Yeah.
I even say kudos to Vince for letting them do their thing.
Right. You hear it in the background.
I'm just backing you up, Dre. Come on.
I'll even throw it up. I'll even throw the one up. I'll throw my one up.
Hey man, this is great storytelling, bro.
No, it is.
I am like, I can't wait for Fridays, bro. I can't wait for Fridays. Like, I wish at this point you might as well just give it to them on Mondays too. Just let us all have it. Because it's great. So for those who have not been watching, who don't really know what's going on yet,
get up from out on
y'all
that
know
rock.
that the Usos have turned their back on the tribal chief,
right?
Roman, and Roman and Solo. We had Roman and Solo versus the Usos at Money in the Bank. Was it Money in the Bank?
Money in the Bank.
In the Bank. The Usos have pinned Roman.
And that is not fake news, ladies and gentlemen.
Not fake news. Roman has been pinned for the first time in 3.5 years.
3.5 years, y'all. 3.5
years. He has not been pinned until 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago?
3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago. So the Usos have pinned Roman, not pinned Solo, but pinned Roman.
The undisputed universal champion.
So now here we are. The battle is still ongoing. Roman and Solo has now taken out Jimmy Uso. Yeah. So Jimmy Uso is injured. well, they didn't say he was injured, but he's out. He's out of the picture right now because they sent him to the hospital, and now Jay is now avenging his brother. He is back to being main event Uso. He has challenged main event Jay. He has now challenged Roman for the Universal Undisputed Championship. Now, that has not been confirmed yet for SummerSlam.
Right. But we all know.
It has not been confirmed yet. However, we're pretty sure that's going to happen. Now, here's my prediction.
Here we go, Jay. Here we go.
Here's my prediction. As much as I don't want this to be the case, Jay will lose that match. However, he is going to prove one hell of a point, and he's going to whoop Roman's ass. I'm telling you what's going to happen. It's going to be a fight. I do believe Solo will interfere.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe that there will be a lot of close calls, but I do not believe that Jay, as much as I want Jay to dethrone Roman, I do not believe that he's going to do it. Not that he can't.
Right.
Not that he can't. It just won't happen. They really want Roman. They're breaking records right now on purpose.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
Breaking records.
Jason,
and they are.
You notice I ain't say nothing when y'all brought up the WrestleMania rumor. I'm just let that one pass.
Yeah, like they're trying to break records. And here's my thing with breaking records. And we're gonna get back to the Bloodline storyline. But I feel like if you're gonna break records, y'all really could have started with Cena. But y'all messed that up when Cena almost won 17 championships, which would have beat
Ric Flair.
Ric Flair's champion. It would be his record.
Yep.
I don't understand why this particular record is important. Because he's close. He's like number 3 now, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
He just got because he's already beat Hogan.
Yeah, he's about to pass Pedro Morales, and Jay is not happy about that.
Yeah, Pedro Morales is next, and then it's the one and only.
Oh man, Jay, I'm
ahead, Jay. How you feeling, bro?
I'm just confused at the record when it's I don't know. I can't even formulate it into a way that's gonna make sense. The title that he's holding is the one, like one of the 2 titles that he's holding is the record. That's where the record lies. That is not the record that's being broken, and that's all I'm gonna say. Because I just don't understand why they keep saying he's been champion for this amount of days when that's not the record. Like it's only because they're hazy themselves on what the lineage is and where the belts combine or where they don't combine. So it's like he's only been the championship record that Pedro and Hulk and Bruno have. Roman is at maybe like 500-600 now,
which is the WWE Championship.
Yeah, and that's the one with the record.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Here's my whole perspective on this whole thing. So, okay, I understand that this has been the long-term project with Reigns. You've wanted to make him one of the strongest characters in the company. This has been Gutierrez McMahon's life's desire to make Roman Reigns like the second coming of Hogan and Cena all in one. And to a certain extent, they have succeeded. Like this tribal chief gimmick that he has, this is probably the greatest thing to ever happen to Roman's career. I will not argue with that at all. And having him win the Universal Championship, having him win the WWE Championship, okay, and the amount of competitors that he's beaten and the title reign all in itself, amazing. Give y'all all the credit in the world for that. Here is where my frustration comes in. it's getting to a point now where you're trying to make him so strong and put him over so much. It's almost like you're trying to remind us of something that we already know. We already understand, okay, yes, Roman is a megastar. We know Roman has exceeded a level above every other top guy in the company. We know this, Vince. We know this, H. Yes, H, I'm going to get on YouTube. As much as I love you, I got to get on YouTube. We know that Roman has exceeded levels above any other top superstar in WWE today. But at the same time, it's like, okay, now that you've finished the final product, let the product simmer, let it marinate, give us time to cherish it, let it be permanently ingrained in our minds. What I mean by that is that you don't have to continue to have this man have this championship or championships in this headlock in order for us to remind us, okay, Roman's one of the greatest WWE superstars of this present day. We know that. We understand.
But I think they're coming away from that anyway with him being pinned.
No, I think that's just classic wrestling. You pin
it doesn't. To be honest with you, Dre, it doesn't feel like it. And the reason why I say it doesn't is because I would think, okay, after Roman has been pinned for the first time in 3 years, you would start to see like certain, sides of his character, start to change. And from what I've seen, especially this past week, Roman is still getting the better of Jay. Like Jay still got. Go ahead. What'd you say?
No, my bad. I thought you were talking about.
No, I was just gonna say real quick. I don't think nothing has changed, y'all. Because
but I think that only because they haven't continued it. They're still continuing the story because now they're starting to throw. I disagree with you a little bit on you haven't seen the change in character. The reason of that is because you started to see the change of character, one, at Money in the Bank, when he was how stressed out he was becoming because they kept kicking out. And so now things are starting to go from who this strong guy was to now we're starting to look at Solo more. We're starting to look at him more as maybe he could be the tribal chief. Maybe he can be the one to take over, whatever the case may be. You never saw Roman until Money in the Bank start looking more, I don't know if I can do this.
If I could jump in real quick.
Go ahead.
Beautiful points. So, George, something that I thought of while you were talking. So, indulge me for a second. Just indulge me.
Sure.
They have pushed Roman Reigns like The Rock, thinking that they were going to get The Rock Part 2. And it's just not the case. No knock against Roman. Now, problem, like what Dre was saying, the problem with Roman Reigns' booking, because he's being pushed like The Rock, and because he's champion, is that there's nowhere for him to go. Where does that character go? Yes, it has changed because now he's like he could fake cry on a dime and then he'll turn his, stab you in the back. That's evolution in his character. At the same time, you're always trying to think of the end game, and booking wise, it's hard to book Roman Reigns because once you defeat the tribal chief, his credibility is done.
Yep.
So you cannot, and also you do not want to breed the next tribal chief because that gimmicks that you can only rely on the bloodline for so long. And I say that because if someone's on top, that means that he has underlings, and you can't keep the Usos under Solo forever. You can't keep them under Roman forever. That's 4 careers in Paul Heyman that you got to worry about. And so like George was saying, like, okay, if you're gonna push him like The Rock, push him like The Rock. Don't give him the belt. Rock never had his WrestleMania moment, but he's The Rock. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he never won the big one at WrestleMania. But at the same time, he didn't need it. And to your point, Roman is kind of, for what it's worth, for this generation, he's that star. He's the Undertaker. He's The Rock. He's the top. He doesn't need the belt at this point. He is established. I feel like both of what y'all saying, like if he was where he is without the belts, it would be a little bit more interesting. Like tribal, like his pride, he carries his pride like a championship.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask both of y'all this.
Okay.
Do you think Roman can continue this character without the belts
Yes.
and it still be powerful?
He should have lost it at WrestleMania.
Yeah, that was our whole point. That was the whole frustration of why Cody should have went over at Mania.
Yes, because this would be like Roman would still be just as hot against his own family, like
right.
Yeah.
And the reason, and let me say this, Jay, and the reason why I believe Roman would have been just as hot and just as strong had Cody beat him at WrestleMania is because he does not have a title, now because he's the heel and the way he portrays this heel, it's a new kind of motivation now.
Yes, cry baby, like
because now he's gonna take it out on his family. Because that's the one, because that's the thing about being a villain. A villain is always going to try basically a villain is going to try to justify whatever action that he commits, no matter what it is. He's going to try to find the simplest, most minor thing to motivate him to make acceptable of why he does what he does after he's lost something that is
Can I put the cherry on top real quick?
Go ahead.
Could you imagine if Cody beat him in WrestleMania? Bloodline comes down, beats down Cody. They walk out with the belts. They still introduce a new title. Give Cody a new title, but because Roman is now that vengeful crybaby heel that's still walking around with his worthless 2 belts. You know what I'm saying? Like even stuff like that.
There you go.
He could, like you said, he could blame all of that on. But that's just speculation. But yeah.
So, do you not think that moving the tribal chief title to Solo could continue the storyline? Because that's what they're pushing for.
I don't think there needs to be a tribe. Like because of the tribal chief, like Solo could be the tribal chief, but by that point, there doesn't need to be a tribe.
Yeah.
Like it would just at that point be his handle. But him being like, you can't move Solo up over his brother, like the longest tenured team in the WWE, baby brother coming in and taking the top spot. Like, again, it's still careers, and that's why they kind of back themselves into a corner. But I'm pretty sure they all want to work with each other, though.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, especially like I saw an interview, I think it was Ariel Helwani, very well-known MMA guy, but he dabbles in professional wrestling too. I caught this sit-down interview he had with the twins, and they both
want to fight each other.
Yeah,
I saw that one.
Yeah,
they want to fight each other.
Yeah, so there you go, and they want to do it at Mania. They want it to happen on the
that would be good money.
It would.
That'd be great money. That'd be a great draw.
It would. So to your point, Jay, yes, they do want to work with each other. I'm pretty sure Solo wants to, have an individual feud with both of them at certain times. So I don't think it's the question of, whether they want to work with each other or not. I think it's the simple case of when you talk about, just this character of the tribal chief in general, it all depends on the proper placement of the character. And you brought up not having a tribe. It's like, okay, well, you know what? If you're not gonna have a tribe behind the chief, then all right, well, the chief will just be its own personal entity. You know what I'm saying? The chief will just try to, take over the whole entire WWE. If he ain't got no tribe, he'll just go after who he want to go after. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't it too late for that? After you done weaseled your way into a 3 year of not being pinned, and how can you now go through the roster when you needed your tribe to get where you are?
And that's what I'm saying. That was my whole point about
him.
No, I'm just elaborating. No, I'm just elaborating on what you're saying. That's why I was telling y'all, even back in April when we had, this whole roundtable about why Cody should have won, and the circumstances of Roman going over in the first place. That's why I was like, the constant interference of the bloodline, even before the Usos turned on him, just heavy on the bloodline interference, that too was kind of, peeling away of the strength of this character. Because again, and I'm not trying to go off the rails here, but this is just to make my point. When you look at, other great professional wrestling villains, in the WWE, let's just, specifically, when you look at people like, the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, and the $1 Million Corporation, you know what I'm saying? When you look at Bobby Heenan and the Heenan family, when you look at D-Generation X, you know what I'm saying? Like the Nation of Domination. Like when you look at all of these very popular, powerful, villainous groups that have been in the WWE throughout the years, if you ever noticed, their leaders, they weren't so heavily reliant on them getting the job done for them. Yes, they interfered and they got involved, but only to a certain extent. But when it came down to it, if the leaders needed to win a match in a dirty way, they did that stuff on their own. Shawn Michaels did that stuff on his own. Ted DiBiase did that stuff on his own. Farouk did that on his own. You know what I'm saying? They weren't so, every time you turn around, ref bump, okay, here comes Solo, here comes the Twins, here comes Paul Heyman. Like, no. But that's what made it so effective. And that's what kept them strong. It's because they weren't so heavily reliant on their people. They could get the job done too and generate just as much heat. That's why we didn't like them. That's why I don't know. D-Generation X was cool. You know what I'm saying? Like heel or babyface, whatever. I like DX anyway. They were just a cool group. But I'm talking about like, Nation of Domination, NWO, all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why we did not like them, because even though the people of that group interfered and, won the match in a dirty way for the leader also found a way to weasel his way into a victory too. And that's what increased the hate, because it's like, damn, Hogan, like, you just can't win the match clean. Like, you got to use a foreign object. Like, you know what I'm saying?
So there's actually a term, and I'll put a quarter in the swear jar in just a second. But for our newer wrestling fans out there, there's a term for what George is talking about. It's called a chicken shit heel. So The anomaly here is that Roman Reigns is a chicken shit heel who happens to be the biggest, toughest looking member of his group that also needs help. So it's kind of like, again, it's just an anomaly. It's just like two of these things don't add up, or one of these things doesn't add up. And I just want to Dre's credit, the story is what it is. And so that's what keeps everyone interested. It's just so hard to predict.
Yeah, because you don't know where it's going.
You really don't.
You don't know where it's going. And now that the storyline is inside of the bloodline, now it's no longer the bloodline versus someone. It's now inside the bloodline.
Right.
it's like you don't know what can happen. We're looking at Solo looks like he's about to turn every time we see him on screen.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Friday
Jimmy's
was
out.
the biggest tease. When he picked
Yeah,
up
man.
that lay, I said,
Yeah, right.
I was like, is he gonna put this on? Is he gonna put it on? Because he had me.
I think they're pushing for Solo to, possibly take that title. Not the belts, but the title of Tribal Chief, and then eventually go after the belt.
Yeah.
So
It seems destined to happen. But I mean,
all I'm saying is I can't wait till tomorrow. See what's next. I can't.
It's gonna be wild, whatever it is. It's gonna be wild. Jay's got something dastardly up his sleeve. He's gonna raise some type of hell. Especially they're talking about this rules of engagement, which has got me even more interested. I'm like, rules of engagement. Okay. Let's see how
yeah. I can't wait, man.
I can't either.
I can't wait. And
I can't wait for SummerSlam, man.
SummerSlam is going to be amazing. In fact, that's something we need to really discuss next week. We need to talk about SummerSlam, man.
Yeah.
Really, really dive into what's going on. All the cards haven't been set yet, correct?
No, it hasn't. I've seen a preview, like a fantasy lineup or not a fantasy lineup, but a mock lineup of what the card could actually be. And
I have to watch Monday over because I'm pretty sure everything that I saw there was played on TV. However, I don't know if everything that I saw was played on TV. So I need to watch it back. I do know that the cards that are set for sure. We do have Brock Lesnar and Cody. I'm not necessarily looking forward to that because I don't need a third one. However, we're getting it. Is what it is. That's fine. But I think SummerSlam is going to be great. I can't wait, and I think we should definitely dig into what SummerSlam is going to be.
Oh yeah, because there's one match in particular there that's probably going to develop that I have a strong opinion on. And I'm not going to go into it tonight, but y'all pretty much know who I'm talking about and what I'm talking about.
We also have Seth and Finn.
Seth and Finn.
For SummerSlam. That's confirmed.
Right.
They played that like 7 times Monday.
Right.
They played it like 7 times during the show and after the show. So I know for a fact we're going to get that. So it's going to be cool. And I can't wait, man.
I just hope they make that one. I just hope they, one of the matches that I saw on that mock card, I hope that match really happens. And I hope that certain individual, is actually given a chance to compete for that championship and win it. That's all I'm going to say. Because if he doesn't, I'm going to be severely upset with Triple H.
Oh, you're talking about LA and yeah.
Mm-hmm. We'll get to that next week, though. We'll get to that.
Well, yeah, because we're gonna see what's there. He's in the Fatal 4-Way tomorrow.
Yes,
he's in the Fatal 4-Way tomorrow.
Which is my point. Tomorrow's Fatal 4-Way, the United States Fatal 4-Way, is gonna, have a lot to do with SummerSlam. And if they don't make the right decision tomorrow, on my man, I'm telling you, you're probably going to see the most heated 2 Live Brew y'all have ever seen. I'm gonna be full of piss and vinegar if they don't pull the trigger on my boy on Friday. I'm telling you. Because hey, I can live with him. I can live with him not being ready to go after Roman yet. I can live with that. But if y'all are gonna make it up to me, do the right thing tomorrow night. That's all I'm gonna say. Do the right thing. Tomorrow night.
We shall see tomorrow night exactly what is going to happen. And ladies and gentlemen, y'all make sure y'all tune in next week because we're going to talk about exactly what happens on tomorrow night. Absolutely. So yeah, man, let's we're gonna close the chapter here, and we're gonna get back at y'all next week. Go on, tell them how to find you, bro.
Of course, y'all know. first and foremost, Facebook is the initial place you can find me, where you can simply search George Kennebrew. My last name is spelled KENNEBREW. If you don't want to try Facebook, you can always go to Instagram, where I am livest_1. That is the word ONE_living. And if you don't want to try Instagram, which I don't know why you wouldn't, your third option would be, of course, TikTok. And on TikTok, I am Special K0788. Follow me. You'll be glad you did.
Yes, sir. Jay, tell them where to find you, bro.
Wrestling Cinematics with the exclamation point on YouTube. Just hit 900 subscribers.
Woo!
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where you can find me at.
All right.
Nice. And of course, you can find your boy Dre Cole. Facebook, it is Dre Cole. On Instagram is I am_Dre Cole. And on TikTok is I am Dre Cole. Y'all hit me up. Shout out to those who watched the show and to those little homies. I cannot remember their names, so please forgive me if y'all are watching or watching the playback. It was great meeting you guys. Thank you guys for your support. Thank you, parents. Thank you for letting them watch it.
Yes.
You know, and all those who we didn't get to talk to. Thank y'all for supporting us every week. You know, we just getting our feet wet. We about to be on Twitch. We about to be on YouTube. We about to be on.
Speaking of which,
all of the above.
Speaking of which, real quick. Also, I want to give a big acknowledgement. I'm just gonna go ahead and label her our creative team member behind the scenes. The great Faith is what I like to call her. Also, who is the lovely daughter of our dearest Dre Cole here. So shout out to Great Faith on our creative team, making the platforms happen. Faith, we love you, and keep doing what you're doing. And if you hit my man up on TikTok, listen to them hard conversations, man. This man got it up here, man. He gonna let y'all know something, man. Listen
you'll find them conversations on everything. I post them everywhere, man. So support individually, support as a group, and we will let y'all know when we're gonna start going live on YouTube and live on Twitch. We're still working on some stuff. We're waiting on them to get back to us because there's certain things that they have to go ahead and view to let us go live on those things. So we're waiting on those responses back, but it's about to be on and popping.
Yes, sir.
And one more time, happy belated birthday to the livest crew. The livest. I mean, you don't get no liver than him. 2 Live Brew, George Kennebrew, 35. We appreciate you, man. We love you, bro, man. Happy birthday, my dude.
Thank you, brothers. Thank you.
Yeah, strip clubs and drinks on me. I'm gonna tell you when though.
You
look,
go ahead and
after the first get around. Then I got you.
Go ahead and throw a 10-piece. Go ahead and throw a 10-piece teriyaki with some fries on that thing too. I'll take a peach tea as well. You know, they say that they make the best peach tea coming from the hood. You know what I mean? So you can go ahead and throw that in there too.
That's another podcast. We'll talk about that later. We ain't gonna talk about that right here. Kids are watching.
That's right. But with that being said, we love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in, and we will talk to y'all next week for another exciting edition of Ring Psychology. Two fingers.
Yes, sir. Y'all be easy.